Thank you for joining us this Saturday evening. You're watching the long-form story with me, Niranjan. On the show this evening, we're getting you 4 stories that dominated the news in the last week. It's been a newsy week. And on today's show, we go deep into these 4 stories. Stories that have been the subject of conversation and debate in the last week. Our first story is about India's space odyssey. Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla, the first Indian to have been on the International Space Station. His journey from Lucknow to the cosmos is not one of his alone. It's the testament to India's rewriting of the space history. And back home, our second story captures the grim reality of West Bengal. Another day, another woman, another campus attacked in the very place she's supposed to feel secure. Our third story this evening is from Assam. The story of a gas well that turned into a ticking time bomb in Assam's Sivasagar district. 16-day battle to stop it. Our ground investigation putting into perspective everything, the background sequence of events, how an entire village was made to vacate the land they call home. And finally, what is happening in Punjab? Cartel-like killings, mafia wars, vicious cycle of drug peddling, encounters, and partisan politics. Punjab has reached a boiling point. And with that, let's get started with our first long-form story this evening. From Rakesh Sharma's salute to Kalpana Chawla's dream, India's space journey has always reached beyond gravity. Now tonight, a new name in the last week, joining that stellar league from the bustling heart of Lucknow to the edge of Earth's orbit, Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla, once a quiet schoolboy in Uttar Pradesh, now on board the International Space Station as part of Axiom Mission 4. Now, his story isn't just about space. It's about belief, discipline, and a billion dreams taking flight. It's the echo of Viksit Bharat rising, confident, rooted, and reaching higher and higher. It's the journey from India's lanes to space.
LVM-3 के उत्थापन के साथ ही हमारे अंतरिक्ष यान चंद्रयान 3 की चंद्रमा की यात्रा प्रारंभ हो चुकी है।
वर्ष के बाद कोई भारतीय अंतरिक्ष में जाने वाला है।
From the Indian Space Research Organization, AX-4 pilot Shubhanshu Shukla.
Namaste. I am Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla.
लेकिन इस बार टाइम भी हमारा है, काउंटडाउन भी हमारा है और रॉकेट भी हमारा है।
A fighter pilot for 15 years, he was selected as one of 4 Indian astronauts in 2020.
आपको तो पृथ्वी माता की परिक्रमा का सौभाग्य मिला है। अभी आप पृथ्वी के किस भाग के ऊपर से गुजर रहे होंगे?
हम दिन में 16 बार परिक्रमा करते हैं, 16 सूर्योदय और 16 संन्यास, सनराइज और सनसेट हम देखते हैं ऑर्बिट से। और बहुत ही अचंभित कर देने वाला ये पूरा प्रोसेस है। इस परिक्रमा में, इस तेज गति में, हम इस समय करीब 28,000 किलोमीटर प्रति घंटे की रफ्तार से चल रहे हैं आपसे बात करते वक्त। और ये गति पता नहीं चलती क्योंकि हम तो अंदर हैं, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं ये गति जरूर दिखाती है कि हमारा देश कितनी गति से आगे बढ़ रहा है इस समय।
For decades, India's journey to the stars has lit up the sky. From Rakesh Sharma's iconic moment in orbit.
ऊपर से भारत कैसा दिखता है आपको?
जी मैं बगैर किसी झिझक के कह सकता हूँ कि सारे जहां से अच्छा दिखता है।
To Kalpana Chawla and Sunita Williams, inspiring a billion dreams.
I called all the crew members one by one and they saw it and everybody said, oh wow.
From moonshots to Mars, from Chandrayaan to Gaganyaan, this is a story of vision, science, and sky-high belief. And now, a new name joins that constellation from the heartland of Hindi-speaking India, Uttar Pradesh. Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla is set to pilot a mission to the International Space Station. In the quiet lanes of Lucknow, pride now hangs on the walls. Faces smile wider. Strangers stop to ask for a boy's house, a boy who touched the skies and left his footprints among the stars. Shubhanshu's name now travels faster than the wind in these alleys, the tea stalls to temples. He's not just a name anymore. He's a story everyone wants to tell.
जी जी हाँ जी शुभांशु शुक्ला जो अंतरिक्ष में जा रहे हैं जी हाँ मिले हैं, एक दो बार मिले हैं। बहुत अच्छे नेचर के हैं, मतलब लखनऊ की शान बनने वाले हमारे लोग हैं। और क्या हम लोगों को बहुत गर्व है भाई।
But this story isn't written in headlines. It's written on every brick of this street, in every corner that once echoed with his laughter, and now whispers his name with pride.
शुभांशु शुक्ला लखनऊ की गलियों का रहने वाला वो लड़का जो अंतरिक्ष की असीमित संभावनाओं को तलाशने जा रहा है। शुभांशु शुक्ला के घर को खोजते हुए लखनऊ में हम पहुंचे हैं। शुभांशु शुक्ला के पड़ोसियों में गौरव है। शुभांशु शुक्ला जिसने लखनऊ का नाम रोशन किया, भारत के नाम को बढ़ाया, क्या उसके बचपन की पूरी कहानी है, क्या परवरिश, कैसी वो परवरिश रही जिसने शुभांशु को आज अंतरिक्ष में जाने लायक बनाया, ये जानने के लिए हम शुभांशु के घर पहुंचे हैं।
This is where it began, where a boy once dreamed with open eyes and quietly climbed step after step towards something none of them imagined would come so soon. Behind the medals, the discipline, the achievement lies a mother's patience, a father's quiet strength, and a home that raised a child like any other.
शुभांशु तो बहुत बचपन से बहुत ही अच्छा बच्चा था। छोटे पर से ही उसके मतलब सारे आचरण कहेंगे बच्चे के बहुत अच्छे थे। समझदार था, ब्रिलियंट था, सब कुछ था और थोड़ा शरारती भी था, जैसे सारे बच्चे होते हैं वो भी था। बस ये है कि हम लोगों की देख रेख में, हम लोगों के पालन पोषण में तो उस पलता बढ़ता रहा, धीरे धीरे बढ़ता गया, पढ़ता गया। अपनी पढ़ाई में हमेशा अव्वल आता रहा। उसको जो है पढ़ते पढ़ते धीरे धीरे उसने सारी सीढ़ियाँ क्रॉस करी, अच्छे से पास किया उसको और फिर वो निकलता चला गया। फर्स्ट ईयर में ही था तभी उसने एनडीए का एग्ज़ाम पास कर लिया। उसी हिसाब से फिर वो एनडीए का एग्ज़ाम देने के बाद फिर उसको उसने घूम के नहीं देखा अच्छे से कि मतलब क्या है। जैसे कहते हैं ना कि बच्चे से वो सीधे सीधे इंसान बन गया, एकदम से बड़ा इंसान बन गया।
He did not demand, he did not ask. He just quietly kept becoming something greater every single day.
वो छोटे पर से जो है बहुत शांत स्वभाव का था और उसमें जो है वो पढ़ने लिखने में भी बहुत अच्छा था। किसी प्रकार के कोई बहुत ज़्यादा शैतानी नहीं करता था। खर्चीले का कोई स्वभाव नहीं था, किसी प्रकार की कोई डिमांड नहीं करता था कि कहीं पर उसको कोई मतलब किसी सामान के बारे में जिद करना या कुछ करना, ऐसा कुछ कभी नहीं रहा उसका। हमेशा एडजस्टिंग नेचर का था और हम लोग भी बस छोटा होने के नाते बहुत ज़्यादा तवज्जो नहीं दे पाते थे। अब ये एनडीए में जाने के बाद पूरा उस तरह से हो गया जैसा एनडीए चाहता था। और यही बात अगर हम अपने में लागू करते हैं तो बच्चे को आप उसी तरह मोल्ड कर सकते हैं जैसा कि वो ट्रेनिंग के पीरियड में मोल्ड हुआ। बहुत प्राउड फील कर रहे हैं, पूरा ज़िंदगी का सबसे बड़ा गर्व महसूस करते हैं अपनी लाइफ का। हमें जो अचीवमेंट ये दिया है बच्चे ने, वो मेरे लिए ज़िंदगी का सबसे बड़ा गौरवान्वित करने वाला दिन है।
Shubhanshu is not just a son who made his parents proud, but also a little brother to his sisters with tons of sibling stories.
उनका फेवरेट गेम हुआ करता था फुटबॉल एंड क्रिकेट। वो बहुत इंटरेस्ट लेके खेलते थे और वो स्कूल का ही था उनका फिक्सेशन। उनकी पूरी टीम बनी हुई थी स्कूल की तरफ से ही, वो उसमें खेलते थे। स्कूल से पढ़ के आया, 1 घंटे वहीं खेला, उसके बाद लौट के आया, फिर घर में घूमते फिरते रहते थे। हम लोगों को ये भी प्रॉब्लम थी, मैं और मेरी बहन, हम लोग जो है फुल डिवोटेड होते थे, पूरे साल बहुत मेहनत करके पढ़ाई करते थे। वो पढ़ाई करते हुए नहीं दिखता था, वो लास्ट मिनट पढ़ाई करता था और स्कोर हमेशा हमसे ज़्यादा ले आता था। फिर हम लोग बहुत फाइट करते थे कि ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है कि तुम लास्ट मिनट पढ़ते हो और उसके बाद तुम इतने अच्छे स्कोर ले आते हो। तो वो भी मजाक में चिढ़ाता था, दीदी उसके लिए दिमाग चाहिए होता है और आप दिमाग होगा तो आप भी स्कोर ले आओगे। वो उस समय मजाक खूब कर लेता था हम लोगों के साथ। एंड दैट्स हाउ, यही हमारी टॉम एंड जेरी वाली फाइट होते होते हम लोग बड़े हो गए। उस समय हम उसको सीरियसली नहीं लेते थे, लेकिन आज हम अगर उसको विजुलाइज करते हैं या उसके बारे में सोचते हैं तो हमें लगता है कि नहीं, उसका विजन बहुत क्लियर था बचपन से ही। उसको मालूम था उसको क्या डिसीजन लेना है, उसको क्या करना है क्या नहीं करना है, वो बहुत क्लियर था। उसको इससे फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता है कि कौन क्या कह रहा है, किसको क्या ठीक लगेगा क्या ठीक नहीं लगेगा, इससे उसको कोई कंसर्न नहीं है। उसको जो ठीक लगता है वो करता है।
In a modest corner in Lucknow, Asha Shukla folds her hands in prayer. The soft chime of bells echoing hope through the morning air. Thousands of miles above, her son now floats in orbit, among satellites, silence and stars, one's feet on the floor of a temple, the others suspended in the sky, and yet both are grounded in faith. Her son is now a source of joy and pride for over 1.4 billion Indians.
बहुत गौरव, बहुत ज़्यादा गौरव है। इतना गौरव है कि मतलब शब्दों में हम बयान नहीं कर सकते बच्चे के लिए अभी। बहुत गौरव।
This was his second home, the school where curiosity bloomed and discipline took root, where footballs rolled and dreams took flight.
Shubhanshu was very sporty. In particular, he was interested in cricket and also particularly football. So he was a very sporty child, and he was into a lot of things that the school offered. We are ecstatic, we are elated, we are on the top of the world because our former student Shubhanshu is taking the hopes of 1.4 billion Indians to space, and he's inspiring millions and millions of children in India to be curious, to have an inquiring mind, and to believe in experimentation, and to really try again and not to give up, to have a big dream.
During my times, it was the school prayer, the pledge, the thought, the activity, and everything. And I used to dread it. I used to feel it never ends, right? Much later in my life, I realized that even though when you are there, these things seem painful, but somewhere they are conceived in your mind and they help build your character.
Today, the boy who once borrowed time to study at the last minute stands among children as a symbol of discipline, dedication and dreaming big.
बहुत रिगरसली वो डिसिप्लिन फॉलो करते हैं। दूसरी चीज़, वो उनका डेडिकेशन, अगर उन्होंने कोई काम ले लिया है, उनका हमेशा से यही कहना है, वो हम सबको यही सिखाते रहते हैं कि यू टेक अ डिसीजन। राइट एंड रॉन्ग हम बाद में देख लेंगे कि वो राइट डिसीजन है या रॉन्ग डिसीजन है। आपने एक डिसीजन लिया है, फिर आप अपना 110%, 200% दीजिए उसको प्रूफ करने के लिए कि हमने जो डिसीजन लिया वो सही है। शायद ये ज़ील उसके अंदर जो है ना बचपन से, यही उसको इतनी ऊंचाइयों तक ले गई है।
He wasn't just aiming for the stars at first. Like many others, he spoke of IITs, engineering, dreams, textbook routes. But fate had other plans.
I frankly was not too keen. I had not even thought about it. My parents didn't want me to go to NDA or defense, any which ways. And all my friends bought the form for filling up. I didn't. At the last minute, one of my friends, he decided against it. He said, I am not interested and this form is lying. So that was lying, and I said, well, why not give it a try? I filled up that form. And it so happened, one thing led to another. I was the only one who got selected in the writtens, and then I went for my interview at number 1 AFSB Dehradun. It was a 7-day interview, and I got selected there. And then post that, the medicals, I got selected in the medicals, and before I knew it, before my boards were finished, I knew that I'm going to NDA in June.
He was no stranger to pressure, months of endurance drills, high-grade simulations, and zero-gravity adaptation sculpted not just his body, but his reflexes and resilience to operate when failure isn't an option.
Initially, we were given 60 candidates to select from based upon a screening of their physical, physiological, and other parameters. And out of that, 12 candidates were selected initially for further evaluation, assessment, and training. And we were finally fortunate enough to have zeroed down to 4 wonderful candidates, of which the current Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla is one of the most wonderful, most enthusiastic, most cooperative, and most highly motivated person who took part in this entire evaluation, assessment, and training with such grit, determination, and understanding of what is expected of him, and he performed to the best of his abilities.
Can see them moving into the Teslas there. We do, of course, divide the crew into 2 sets. So you're seeing some of our SpaceX support ninjas in the background there. Very excited crew on their way over to 39A. Once they reached the base of the tower, they do stop to take in Falcon 9 and Dragon.
From quiet lanes of Lucknow to launch pads in Florida, this is not just a journey across continents. It is a crossing of human thresholds, of courage, of curiosity, of sheer will to rise.
And now we've heard, and you can see on the screen, crew access arm is pulling away from the Dragon spacecraft. This is going to take about a minute and a half to retract all the way. Then we'll get confirmation it is in the launch position. The next step after that is going to be the crew, close the visors.
Three, 2, 1, ignition, and liftoff.
For 3 nations, a new chapter in space takes flight. Godspeed, AX4.
2 plus 30 seconds into flight with the Axiom 4 crew on board Dragon, headed to the International Space.
Now at this, with that confirmation from Mission Control that we are...
I'm thrilled to be here with my fellow astronauts, as Peggy said, 1 veteran and 3 rookies. And wow, what a ride it was. When the ride started, it was something like you're getting pushed back into the seat. It was an amazing ride. And then suddenly, nothing. Everything silenced, and you were just floating. You unbuckle and you were just floating in the silence of vacuum. It was an amazing feeling. Since yesterday, I've been told that I've been sleeping a lot, which is a good sign. So I think that's a great sign. I'm getting used to this quite well, enjoying the views, enjoying the entire experience, learning like a baby, learning the new steps, learning how to walk, learning how to control yourself, everything, learning how to eat, I think. So it's a new environment, new challenge, and I'm really enjoying this experience with my fellow astronaut here.
Shubhanshu Shukla now carries 1 billion hopes aboard Axiom Mission. This is not just a liftoff. It is a rise of Viksit Bharat. Bold, unshaken, and reaching for infinity.
A second long-form story, one that's the biggest headline this week. A 24-year-old law student walked into her college in Kolkata only to face 3 hours of horror inside a guard's room. She says she was gang raped, beaten, blackmailed. The main accused in this case, a leader of the Trinamool Congress's student wing. His links with top Trinamool Congress leaders raised disturbing questions about political protection in Bengal and unchecked power for decades now. And what's worse, this is not an isolated case. Less than a year ago, the nation fought for Abhaya. A young doctor was raped and murdered in a government hospital again in Kolkata. Tonight we track the chilling pattern of silence, power, and ultimate collapse of law and order in Bengal.
The city of joy is seething with anger, an unextinguishable anger. A raw nerve has been struck, and yet another daughter of Bengal has been subjected to a heinous crime. In West Bengal, October breathes life into a timeless ritual, Durga Pujo, the festival of the goddess. For 10 days, the streets pulse with devotion, artistry, and joy as millions bow down to the Divine Mother, she who embodies the strength of a woman, she who slays evil. But beneath the festival's glow lies a shadow, a paradox. In the land that worships the goddess, her daughters, the women of Bengal, walk in fear. On 25th June, that fear became a chilling reality at South Calcutta Law College in Kolkata's Koshba. A 24-year-old first-year student stepped into campus at 4 p.m., never imagining the horror awaiting her. Her gut-wrenching complaint unmasks a betrayal. 3 accused, 31-year-old member of the Trinamool's student wing Monojit Mishra, 19-year-old first-year student Zaib Ahmed, and 20-year-old third-semester student Promit Mukhopadhyay. They lured the young girl to a desolate guard room, preying on her trust. Monojit Mishra, the ringleader, he stood before her with an oft-used ploy. "Will you marry me?" She said no, calmly, firmly, as was her right. But that no shattered his ego. He came back as a monster fueled by rage. For 3 long, unending hours, between 7:30 p.m. to 10:50 p.m., she bore the weight of his wounded pride. Not just pain, not just violence, but the cruelty no woman should ever have to face. All because she said no. Her complaint reveals the harrowing sequence of events leading up to the alleged gang rape. She begged, she cried, she had a panic attack. She fought back with every breath, every ounce of strength her body could summon. And when words failed, her wounds spoke. Bite marks, scratches, bruises, all stand witness to her ordeal. And who is Monojit Mishra? This monster cloaked in power? A general secretary of the Trinamool Congress's student wing, TMCP, in South Kolkata, strutting with the arrogance of political privilege. His ties to TMC heavyweights Abhishek Banerjee and Chandrima Bhattacharya flash in damning photographs, proof of a system that let him roam free. This atrocity has set the city of Joy ablaze with rage, its wounds ripped open anew, echoing the nightmare of the RG Kaur Medical College rape and murder on 9th of August 2024, less than a year ago. A young doctor, brutalized and killed, her dreams snuffed out in a hospital meant to heal. The bare wounds of the haunting memories of August 2024 lies buried in the quiet corners of Kolkata. Both the crimes share a chilling thread. Spaces meant for safety and learning turned into arenas for predators. A doctor raped and murdered in a hospital seminar hall. A law student raped in a college guard room. Two young women, chasing their futures, were betrayed by those wielding power. At RG Kaur, the accused Sanjoy Roy, a civic volunteer with alleged ties to the ruling Trinamool, was shielded by whispers of influence. While Monojit Mishra, the prime accused in South Calcutta Law College case, cloaked in TMCP's banner, mirrors the arrogance his leaders display. In the RG Kaur rape and murder case, the Kolkata police couldn't even protect the crime scene. The order for renovation around the crime scene was signed by then principal of the medical college, Shondeep Ghosh, a man favoured by Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. 1 year later, nothing has changed within the political establishment of West Bengal.
একজন বন্ধু যদি বান্ধবীকে রেপ করে তাহলে সেখানে নিরাপত্তা কি করে দেবে বলুন তো আমাকে কলেজের ভেতরে যদি করে সেখানে পুলিশ থাকবে কলেজে শিক্ষা প্রতিষ্ঠান আরে ভাই শিক্ষা প্রতিষ্ঠানে কি পুলিশ থাকবে আপনি বলুন না নিরাপত্তা কাকে দেবে নিরাপত্তা তো তার সহকর্মীরা দেবে সেখানে তো সহকর্মীরাই রেপ করছে তাহলে অন্যায়টা কারা করছে কে করেছে সহপাঠীরা করেছে হ্যাঁ প্রাক্তনরা ঢুকলো কি করে তাদের সঙ্গে নিঃসন্দেহে প্রাক্তনরা যখন ঢোকে তখন সেই নিঃসন্দেহে কিছু লিঙ্ক আছে
No amount of apathy and cruelty from the Trinamool Congress is surprising anymore, given Mamata Banerjee's remarks on the Hashkhali rape case in 2022.
আচ্ছা মেয়ে মারা গেছে নাকি রেপ হয়ে আপনি রেপ বলবেন না প্রেগনেন্ট বলবেন না লাভ অ্যাফেয়ার্স বলবেন এটা এনকোয়ারি করেছেন কি আমি পুলিশকে জিজ্ঞেস করলাম ঘটনাটা খারাপ অ্যারেস্ট হয়ে গেছে কিন্তু ছেলেটির সাথে মেয়েটির নাকি লাভ অ্যাফেয়ার ছিল আমি শুনেছি ইজ ইট এ ফ্যাক্ট ডিজি সাহেব এখানে আছেন আমি যতটুকু ইনফরমেশন পেয়েছি এরপর মেয়েটি যখন মারা গেছে কবে মারা গেছে 10 তারিখ 5 তারিখে পুলিশ জেনেছে কবে 10 তারিখে তাহলে আপনারা আমাকে বলুন 5 তারিখে যদি কেউ মারা গিয়ে থাকে এবং যদি তার মধ্যে কোনো রকম কিন্তু থাকে কোনো রকম কারো কোনো কমপ্লেন থাকে তাহলে 5 তারিখেই পুলিশের কাছে কমপ্লেনটা দায়ের করলেন না কেন
The parallels are a dagger to Kolkata's heart. Institutions meant to protect, defiled by predators, emboldened by a system that lets power trump justice.
কোনো প্রশাসনের উপরে আমাদের আস্থা নেই, শুধু পুলিশ নয়, মুখ্যমন্ত্রী নিজেও আমাদের টাকার অফার করেছেন এবং পরবর্তীকালে আমাদের 4 কোটি টাকা দেওয়ার প্রস্তাবও এসছে। এইরকম মানে টাকা দিয়ে আমাদের মুখ বন্ধ করার অনেক দিন ধরে চেষ্টা করছে, কিন্তু কোনো রকমভাবে আমাদের মুখ বন্ধ করতে পারছেন না, সেটা ওনারা খুব দুঃখ পাচ্ছেন আমার মনে হয়।
The words of the Koshba rape survivor carve a wound. How can a city that worships Durga let her daughters be crushed? Every lane of the state hosts a home grieving the loss of their beloved women.
আপনি বলুন, বলুন যে আর কাকে কাকে চান আপনি? আর কতটা তামান্না, কতটা অভয়া, কতটা কসবার, কত আরো যে কত 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 নারীদের যে এমনই অবস্থা, হয়তো এমনও নারীরা রাত থেকে দিনেও সুরক্ষা নয়, দিনেও হয়তো মায়েরা বসে বসে চিন্তা করে আমার মা বেরিয়েছে কাজে, আমার মেয়ে একটা ছোট্ট মা বাবা যখন শিশু জন্ম হয় তখন তার স্বপ্ন থাকে ছেলেরাই স্বাধীনভাবে বেড়াবে, এমন তো নয়, মেয়েদেরও স্বাধীন দেশে স্বাধীনতা থাকার অধিকার আছে। দিদি আপনি জাগুন, আর কতদিন এমন চলবে?
2 women's courage, one lost, one fighting, blaze a path. Their pain a call to arms. For Abhaya, for the Koshba survivor, for every daughter, Kolkata must awaken, vowing to shatter the silence.
From West Bengal to Assam, in the next long-form story, we bring you the story of a gas well that turned into a ticking time bomb in Assam's Sivasagar district. It took 16 days to stop it. What erupted from beneath the earth wasn't just natural gas. Fear, uncertainty, displacement for hundreds, and the blowout on the 12th of June, an ONGC gas well, when it ruptured without warning, unleashing high-pressure gas and a crisis that would stretch on for 16 tense days more. Villages were emptied, lives were disrupted, and a race began to cap a volatile leak before it turned catastrophic. Engineers had to fight pressure, not the first time in Assam, by the way. Locals fought fear. And tonight, as the well stands silent, for now, the questions only grow louder on what went wrong.
On that fateful morning of June 12, 2025, ONGC's RDS 147A well erupted without warning. A volcanic roar of high-pressure natural gas carving panic and peril into the heart of Sivasagar district of Assam. The leak continued unabated for 16 days, triggering alarms across the area. Fear of fire and explosion loomed large. Before the well was capped, over 350 families from the nearby villages were evacuated to relief camps.
Finally, on day 16th of the operations that were underway in Sivasagar's Rudrasagar area to contain the ONGC well blowout, the experts have finally managed to shut the ONGC well completely. Leakage of gases were reportedly prevented at 11:20 a.m. today, and now the complete closure of the well is underway. We are reporting right now from around 200 meters away from the blowout site, and experts who were on the job has already confirmed us, though informally they have said that a formal statement will be made out by the ONGC very soon regarding closure of operations in this well.
From a distance, the threat was clear. No flames yet, but a battle had already begun. Against pressure,
against time, against the unknown, and with every passing second, the danger edged closer. The initial response was to shut the wellhead. But as pressure mounted, global experts were roped in to manage the crisis. Massive high-capacity cranes were brought in to lift the failed blowout preventer. And ONGC engineers worked relentlessly round the clock with precision and resolve, not just to control the threat, but to eliminate it. With the well now capped, the final phase of operations is underway. For now, the site remains under close observation. Throughout the operation, a water blanket was maintained around the rig, ensuring no breakout of fire during the operation.
I am standing next to the rig. This is the exact location where the blowout took place, and now this has been contained. And here, the rings that you see here, this is how the blowout preventer has been put into action, and now it is absolutely safe. It took 15 days to contain the leakage of gases in this particular rig situated in the Rudrasagar oil field area of Bhotiapar in Sibsagar district. And Republic TV is the only channel to bring you the first glimpse of the rig after it has been shut down.
Cradled in crisis, uncertainty shadows every breath. Over 350 families wait, displaced under the weight of fear, but buoyed by a fragile hope to return. Homes lie just kilometers away. For the families living nearby, the crisis wasn't just an operational derailment, but personal. Days without sleep, food, and uncertainty. While ONGC worked to contain the blowout, locals now wait for clarity and, more importantly, accountability.
देखिए, इसमें अभी 16 दिन हो गया इस घटना होने के बाद। 16 दिन में यहाँ का जो लोग है ना, भटियापाड़ का जो ये इस एरिया का जो लोग है, मिनिमम 3000 जो फैमिली है, 3000 फैमिली अभी घर में रह नहीं पा रहा है, अभी बाहर जा रहा है। इन लोगों का अभी 16 दिन ऐसा चला कि कब हमारा घर जल जाएगा, कब हमारा ये हमारा से ख़राब हो जाएगा। तो इसी के यहाँ के लोगों को यही क्वेश्चन है कि ओएनजीसी को जो अभी ऑयल का जो सेक्टर में अभी 1956 से काम कर रहा है, तब ओएनजीसी का जो टेक्निकल जो चीज़ होना चाहिए, ऐसा बोला एक्सीडेंट होने के बाद टेक्निकल जो चीज़ होना चाहिए, जो वो चीज़ नहीं है। अभी वो एक्सपर्ट वो यूएसए से आना पड़ा, यूएसए से एक्सपर्ट आके इसको बंद किया।
In the weeks that followed, complaints surfaced of skin irritation, eye discomfort, and growing concerns over pollution. Questions were also raised about the effectiveness of ONGC's crisis response.
मतलब खुजली है, आँख में प्रॉब्लम है, आँख में जलन है, और मतलब गले सूख जाते हैं बात बोलने से, और चिल्ला के बात बोलना पड़ता है क्योंकि उस साउंड के लिए हमारा कान थोड़ा मतलब भारी हो गया है। और हमारे यहाँ पे एक आदमी नरेन गोगोई बोल के, आप लोग को पता ही है, उसकी मतलब डेथ हो गई हार्ट अटैक के कारण। और मतलब बहुत लोगों को मतलब तकलीफ़ हो रही है, सर्दी खांसी भी लोगों को हो रही है, बहुत पोल्यूशन है यहाँ पे, इसीलिए ही डायरिया भी है, अनहाइजेनिक फूड है, ये सब हो रही है यहाँ पे।
Relief efforts in the initial hours drew criticism, from inadequate supplies to poor conditions on the ground. Concerns over health, hygiene, and accountability soon followed, with focus turning to the role of the private operator. Questions were also being raised on SK Petro, a private entity operating the well on lease, for not even visiting the affected in the relief camps.
जो उन लोगों ने फोड़ दिया है,
खाने के लिए, उससे हम लोगों का बहुत प्रॉब्लम हुआ है क्योंकि वो फूड खाने का लायक नहीं था। कंपनसेशन तो यह है कि हम लोगों को सुबह ब्रेकफास्ट देता है, फिर 2 बजे में खाना देता है, सिर्फ वो ही देता है। और 2 दिन तो पहले 2 दिन तो हम लोगों को कुछ नहीं मिला। फिर हम लोग जब मतलब उन लोगों को बोला, हम लोग जब एक आसामीज में बोलते हैं ना हाँ, तब उन लोगों ने 2 दिन के बाद हम लोगों को खाना भेजा और मेडिकल कैंप दिया है। लेकिन पहले 2 दिन मेडिकल कैंप अच्छा नहीं था। फिर जब हम लोग वो प्रोटेस्ट किया तब हम लोगों को मेडिकल कैंप अच्छा दिया, वही हम लोगों को दिया था।
The same well that dominated headlines for 16 days now stands silent. Its roars stilled and its secrets buried for now. Day 16. After relentless efforts and risking stakes, finally a breakthrough. Relief, exhaustion and triumph. Cheers erupt as the gas leak is brought under control. A rare moment of success in an operation where every step carried risk. 16 days later, under a sky once heavy with gas white plumes, exhausted crews finally stand victorious. The RDS 147A well is capped, but amid cheers and clanks of steel, a quieter question lingers in the haze. At what cost did this triumph come? Over 350 families remain displaced, their voices echoing from relief camps, torn between relief and uncertainty. Accountability now calls from officials, from ONGC, from SK Petro. The well may rest silent for now, but its true fallout has only just begun.
Our next long-form story is not your usual gangster chronicle. It's an episode in the sordid saga of crime and terrorism that has held Punjab hostage for decades. This is the story of one Harjeet Kaur. Her killing this Thursday evening has once again revealed the vicious cycle of partisan politics, gun running, drug peddling and meddling foreign agencies that has put Punjab on a choke point.
This is National Highway 54. It is a vital corridor of North India connecting Punjab to Rajasthan and Haryana. This Saturday afternoon, it is blocked. People from nearby Bhagwanpur village have laid down a corpse on the highway and are protesting. They want the killers of this dead woman to be arrested. Her sister, who is the village sarpanch, wants a Congress leader and former minister of the state arrested.
मैं तो 2 ही गल्लां करनियां सी। कल ही दरखास्त दे के आए हैं, साडी कोई सुनवाई नहीं, कोई सानूं पता नहीं लगा। उन्होंने मतलब कि जे असीं कल दा रात दा इंतजाम कीता है, उन्होंने भी रात साडी ये काम जिहड़ा करना वा, दरखास्त दे भी मतलब साडी मंजूर करनी, उन्होंने मंजूर नहीं कीती। हुण असीं बटाले SSP दफ्तर धरना लाउण चले आ ते अगे भी तुहानूं पता ही आ कि दुनिया है ना, जो अपने जिया जांदा साडा भी सुखना बहुत तगड़ा सर्कल आ, ते फिर असीं ते हुण धरना लाउणा वा, कोई साडी सुनवाई नहीं होई। ते जे हुण साडी ਥੋੜੇ ਚਿਰ ਤੱਕ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸੁਣਵਾਈ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਤੇ ਚੱਲੇ ਆ, ਤਿਆਰ ਹੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਉਣ ਲੱਗੇ। ਹਾਂਜੀ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵਿਚਾਰੀ ਗਰੀਬਣੀ ਨੂੰ ਚੁੱਕ ਕੇ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਰਹਿਣ ਹੀ ਕੁੱਖ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਘਰ ਹੀ ਬਰਬਾਦ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਵਾ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਖੜਨਾ ਹੀ ਖੜਨਾ। ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਦੀ ਦਰਖਾਸਤ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਆਈ ਹਾਂ, ਕੋਈ ਆਇਆ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕੋਈ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਾ।
ਦਰਖਾਸਤ ਕੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਗਿਆ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਹਦੇ?
ਮੈਂ ਉਹ ਦੱਸ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜੀ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ, ਪਰ ਮੇਨ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਚੱਲੇ ਹਾਂ SSP ਦਫ਼ਤਰ ਬਟਾਲੇ ਧਰਨਾ ਲਾਉਣ ਲੱਗੇ।
ਕੋਈ ਧਮਕੀਆਂ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਵੀ ਮਿਲਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਮਿਲਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਧਮਕੀਆਂ ਮਿਲੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਨਿਕਲ ਲਿਆ ਧਮਕੀਆਂ ਦਾ। ਹੋਰ ਸਾਡਾ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਵੈਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ। ਹਾਂ,
ਕਿੰਨੇ ਜਣਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਖਿਲਾਫ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦਰਖਾਸਤ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ? ਗਿਣਤੀ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਜਣਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਖਿਲਾਫ?
4-5 ਜਣੇ।
Harjeet Kaur was the local kingmaker of Bhagwanpura, once elected as the head of a village panchayat with the alleged backing of this Congress leader. She had later changed her political allegiance as the wind had moved towards Aam Aadmi Party. Her sister Rajwinder Kaur now heads the village panchayat. Harjeet had ruled Bhagwanpura through her. Rajwinder's FIR filed on Friday night names Randhawa.
किया है, लेकिन वो अपनी भी अभी कर रहे हैं ना, को भी रात के टाइम को हुआ था जो भी हुआ था। वो जो बाइक पर आए थे वो 2 ही थे। दो जनों की हुई है। दूसरे करण ही एक लड़का था हमारा, वो जो साथ में रहता था, वो भी नोन ही साडा इदा ही रिश्तेदार। ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬਿਆਨ ਦਵਾਂਗੇ SHO ਸਾਹਿਬ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਿਆਨ ਦਵਾਂਗੇ ਸਾਰੋਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਨਿਰਭਰ ਉਤਰਨਗੇ।
The accused Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa threatened to kill my son Gagandeep. On 26 June, when Harjeet and Karanbir were returning to Batala, the accused tracked them. When Harjeet and Karanbir reached her house, the accused shot them. Accused were on a video call with Randhawa at the time of attack. Killers told Randhawa, "We have done the job. My son Prince and I witnessed the attack." Randhawa threatened against contesting polls, challenging them. Karanbir died on the spot. Harjeet succumbed to injuries en route to the hospital. Reason behind the murder is enmity. We opposed Randhawa in the polls and entered liquor business. I request legal action against the accused.
But why did political parties back Harjeet? Because she held absolute sway over these badlands as the mother of one of Punjab's most heinous crime boss. Jaggu, 128 cases of extortion, murder, gun running and drug dealing lodged against him. He runs a deadly gang and to top it all, personally mentored the very notorious underworld don and Bollywood's nemesis, Lawrence Bishnoi. What's more, it was Jaggu and Lawrence Bishnoi who had jointly orchestrated the assassination of Punjab's biggest rapper and pop singer Sidhu Moosewala. Jaggu's assailants had ambushed Sidhu's car minutes after he left home and had shot him dead. In a karmic turn, Jaggu's mother was murdered in similar situation this June 26th, exactly 3 years later. Harjeet was just reaching home when assailants pumped bullets into her and her aide.
9:30 बजे रात को हमें एक इन्फॉर्मेशन आई है कि कादियाँ रोड बटाला पे कोई फायरिंग हुई है, तो उसमें 2 जो है व्यक्ति इंजर्ड हो गए। हम उसी वक्त मौका पर जाके उनको जल्दी से जल्दी उठा के सिविल हॉस्पिटल बटाला में लेके गए। यहाँ एक जो लड़का है उसका नाम मालूम हुआ है, करण है, उसकी डेथ हुई है, और एक लड़की एक औरत थी मंजीत कौर, और उसको रेफ़र कर दिया है उधर अमृतसर में, और बाद में उसकी भी डेथ हो गई है। इनके ऊपर जो है कर्णवीर है, उसके फादर के बयान पे हमने FIR नंबर 185 थाना सिविल लाइन बटाला में दर्ज किया।
Police say that Jaggu's rival gangster Davinder Bambiha's men were behind the shootout and killing. Bambiha himself died in a police encounter in 2016, but his gang has been active. Batala police cite an Instagram post from the account of yet another dead gangster who was killed by Jaggu's gang in 2017 to prove their point.
We, Doni Bal Billa Manga, Prabhu Dasuwal and Kaushal Chaudhary take responsibility for Karan's murder in Batala. He used to handle all of Jaggu's operations. he was in charge of his fugitives, weapons and money. Today, by killing him, we have avenged our brother Gore Baryar. Even though he knew that Gore had nothing to do with us, he was killed. Today, we carried out a justified killing. From now on, if any of our brothers are wrongfully killed, be ready to pay the price. Anyone else who speaks against us should also be prepared.
But Rajwinder's FIR claims Harjeet named Congress leader Randhawa in her dying moments. She alleges the assailants were on a video call with him.
They are tight-lipped and they are denying that there is no involvement of gang war. But the investigation is going on. With video journalist Krishna, this is Lalit Sharma for Republic TV, Chandigarh. The deceased Harjeet Kaur's sister Rajinder Kaur. The deceased Harjeet Kaur's sister Rajinder Kaur, who is the Sarpanch of the Bhagwanpura village, has filed a complaint alleging the involvement of Congress MP Sukhjinder Randhawa in the murder of their sister Harjeet Kaur and Karanveer Singh. Right now, they have blocked the national highway of Batala, Amritsar, saying that until the justice is not given, their protest will continue the same.
Jaggu, meanwhile, is in faraway Assam. This March, he was transferred from Bhatinda Central Jail to Silchar Jail under the very stringent PIT-NDPS Act. The real reason, however, was the fact that Jaggu was too hot to handle in Punjab, connected as he was to politicians and ran his gang activities from inside jail premises.
The name of Jaggu Bhagwanpuria went beyond only being a gangster when the National Investigation Agency began the probe in the gangster syndicate and terror nexus. 2 cases were registered by the National Investigation Agency in its Delhi headquarters. The cases were case number 39 and case number 38. These 2 cases were registered in the month of August by the National Investigation Agency, and a senior officer of the IG rank began the investigation. During the investigation, it came into being that Jaggu Bhagwanpuria is not just a gangster, but he is one who has been working on the behest of the Pakistani terror groups and also on those who wants to destabilize country. It came during the investigation of 2 attacks.
Hours before Harjeet was killed on Thursday, the NIA filed a charge sheet in Mohali court against 7 people for a grenade attack on a police station of Gurdaspur last December. 3 of the accused are Babbar Khalsa terrorists, now staying as fugitives in Pakistan, Canada and US. The rest 4 in police custody are gangsters from Batala, where Jaggu's mother Harjeet Kaur lived. One of these 4, Abjot, was picking and dropping weapons and explosives on the directions of his terror handlers based abroad.
But this is a deep-rooted conspiracy that has been hatched from outside the country, that how Pakistani ISI will involve the Khalistani terror groups, its terror groups of the Pakistan that will smuggle weapons, narcotics into the Indian side, so that with the sale of the narcotics, the money can be used for the agenda of Pakistan, that is to target the security forces installations as well as to carry out the killings, so that their terror associates and the gangster network that is there in Punjab can prevail. And that was the triangle of the Khalistani groups, terror groups and the gangster syndicate that was working in Punjab has now been unearthed in the NIA during its investigation of 2 cases that it has registered, taking suo motu cognizance of the incidents unfolding in Punjab.
This May, Delhi police busted a Punjab-based gang involved in extortion and firing incidents on businessmen in the national capital region. The 8 arrested had links with the Khalistan Tiger Force and were instructed to extort on the terror gang's behalf.
Those were the 4 big stories this week on the Longform Story. Stay tuned. We will be back at 9 p.m. tomorrow with the 4 big stories. Looking forward to the week ahead. Thanks for watching.